This was going to be a special trip for me. My first time hunting in over a decade, and my first time bow hunting solo. Archery is all about consistency, repeatability and practice. My bow shoots well and is dialed in, but can I repeat the same processes in the wild as I do at home in the target range? The anticipation was high. I didn't really know what to expect. My quarry, pigs, goats, foxes, rabbits, and maybe a deer. So here I am, home away from home. Little cottage I'm going to be staying in for the next week while I'm out near Cowra bow hunting. Let's have a bit of a look around. Pretty nice little place actually. Got everything you need. Here's the kitchen. A big beautiful fridge stocked up with all the essential supplies, as you can see. The main living room here, quite spacious, as you can see. Overpacked as usual, but I'm not camping, so can afford to bring a little extra with me. Main bedroom, the bed looks pretty comfy. Got a decent mob of goats down there. One or two half decent billies in it, and one billy with a really nice coat. Wouldn't mind getting him. I've got a fence in between me and the goats though, and the sun has just come up. I'm sort of stuck here in the shade of a tree for the moment. It's going to be pretty difficult to get to them. Have to give it a crack though. Unfortunately, the fence didn't allow me to take a shot, and the goats moved off unspooked. Fair few goats on this place. Spotted this one from the car driving around. Hopefully I can get one of those billies later. Another little rub tree. There must be a buck or two around here somewhere. I've seen a couple of them now. Got this really bushy, dense block. It's right on the landowner's boundary. But he said feel free just to hunt this little block in here. So with any luck, might find a deer. It's about 10 o'clock now. The morning's hunt's basically done, I suppose. Just going for a bit of a drive around the block, get my bearings, mark a few waypoints on the GPS. Bit of sign. Seen 2 or 3 mobs of goats now and a couple of decent billies in them. Good black one I wouldn't mind getting an arrow into. Seen a couple of foxes and a few rabbits. No pig sign yet though. Very quiet afternoon so far. I've just come back to the spot where I saw the goats yesterday. Positioned myself in a much better spot, got the wind right this time. Just sitting down, hoping they're going to turn up at some stage. There's a bit of a natural salt or mineral lick, soak comes out of the ground down there. Attracts a lot of the animals. So far, nothing's turned up, but I'll give it a little bit longer and hopefully something shows up. If not, I'll go back down to the creek, walk the flats down there, see if I can kick out a pig or two. Unfortunately, I didn't get what unfolded next on film. The light was getting too low, and it was an unexpected occurrence. Oh, my first ever bow kill. Old fox. Over there, feasting on a dead cow. He even saw me coming. He was just too hungry and wanted to keep feeding on that cow, so he came back to it, gave me a shot. Smacked him. Oh, yes, over the moon. Spewing I didn't get this guy on camera, but it was just a little bit too dark. Give it 5 minutes and I wouldn't have taken the shot. Like, that's how quickly it got dark, but geez, he's a big boy. Yeah, super stoked how that 3-blade broadhead took care of him. Totally took out all his vitals. Made a nasty entrance and exit wound. I couldn't find the arrow, so I'll have to go back tomorrow and see if I can find it. But yeah, hit him at about 30 metres. Jumped in the air, carried on, ran about probably 20. Piled up. Dead in seconds, just the way we like it. Oh yeah, over the moon. Oh. So stoked. First animal with the compound bow, and the 3-blade broadhead did a bloody good job. Messed him up. That's the entry wound. Believe it or not, he was sort of quartering on. I'll flip him over. That's where it came out, so it just took out his vitals. Geez, he's a big animal. One of the biggest foxes I've seen and shot for a long time. Yeah, stoked. Bit of a grey, overcast old day by the looks of it. Anyway, I hope that works in my favour. Keeps the animals out for a bit longer. Fingers crossed. Nice little rub tree, that one. Still haven't actually seen a deer, but there's sign of them. The odd little rub tree. A little bit of shit around. Oh, I'm hoping that today's the day I can at least spot one. So bloody dry at the moment. Real hard to walk. Bloody parrots. Really hard to walk quietly. Especially through the scrub. Anyway, the wind's good today. Next to no wind at all. It's really, really still. I've just spotted that mob of goats again. Had to do like a really big circle around to get the wind right. They're probably about 300-400 metres in front of me. Hopefully I can make it happen this time. I'm struggling to get into range of these things. I'm sort of stuck out in the open. It's taken me a good hour probably to move maybe 100 metres. They were literally just over there within bow range, and when I made the last move to get across, they've all just decided to walk across the other side of the gully there. Well, that was an interesting morning. Explored some new territory right up the back there and found a little bit of deer sign. Decided to come back down to the creek and see if I could find those goats. Found the goats. When I did, ran into a rogue satellite billy, sort of way out of the mob all by himself. Sort of got into a bit of a Mexican standoff with him. As I was doing that, a little young billy sort of snuck up behind me, circled around and got up behind me somehow, and I found myself in another standoff. I estimated he was about 20 metres away. Managed to knock an arrow and dial in the sight to 22 metres, as that's what I thought it was. Fired off the shot, but gave him a crew cut. Centimetres over his back. A little bit spewing about that. I guess my range estimation's not that great yet, but it looked like he was about 20, a bit over 20, but obviously probably about 16, 17 metres, I'd say. And I must have let go just a little bit high on him, and yeah, arrow flew straight over his back. Anyway, you live and learn. It's all a learning curve for me, so I'm just happy I got an arrow away at one. Gave him a bit of a scare. Snuck into the mob shortly after that, and just couldn't get it done. Too many eyes. Ended up getting spotted, but at least I didn't spook them. They sort of just slowly made their way off. So head out again this arvo, see if I can find them. Here we go, lunch of champions. I'm starving. This is going to taste good. Just had a few spots of rain go over. Looks like we're in for a little bit more as well. That's kind of nice. It'll knock the dust down a bit. It's pretty dry and dusty out here. Bit of a change of plans, the Savo though. I reckon I'll sit on one of these blackberry choked gullies and see if I can whistle up a fox or poke around, see if I can see a rabbit or two. Give the goats a miss for the arvo, and but before I do that, I want to go and see if I can find last night's arrow that I shot at that fox. See if I can retrieve that. See if I can shoot another one. Here comes that shower. Couldn't manage to whistle up anything in that gully. Quite a few blackberries down there though, so probably a pretty good chance of kicking out a rabbit or two. Might just go for a quick wander, see if I can score myself a bunny, and then I'll go back up over the hill and try a different gully over there and see if I can whistle up a fox. The fox whistling got sidetracked by goats, but unfortunately they wouldn't play my game either. Well, this afternoon's fox whistling didn't go to plan. I heard those goats off in the distance, so decided to put a stalk in on them and managed to get to about 40 of two of them, but again, got sprung, so might have to come up with a little bit of a different game plan for the goats. I'm sort of developing a little bit of a pattern about where they're going to be. So might have to try and set up a bit of an ambush somewhere and try that way. Well, the wind's starting to pick up. It's changing direction, coming in from an easterly direction. Got a bit of a game plan in mind for tomorrow morning. Those goats should be roughly in the same area, so I'll have a crack at them. Trying to come up with a bit of a game plan every day. This wind should settle overnight. It's supposed to pick up by mid-morning tomorrow. Might be time to break out the metal detector. There's a couple of little spots around the property that the farmer showed me. Old gold diggings and stuff like that, or prospecting holes. I'll go for a bit of a wander and try around there. This trip's not all about hunting, it's about gold prospecting and fishing. I'll probably get out to Wyangler in the next day or two, have a crack for cod or whatever else is kicking about out there. I just think with the wind picking up tomorrow, it's supposed to get quite strong by sort of midday, so might be a good time to break out the metal detector and see if I can find some shiny stuff, or head down to the old settlement. I'll show you guys tomorrow where the old settlement was. Apparently it dates back to the 1800s. There's nothing really left there, it's just a bit of a flat, a couple of old fence posts, but from what the farmer told me, like those stockyard posts or whatever they were, yeah, they could be as old as dating back to the 1800s, so never know what you find down there. Probably find a ton of junk, but it's always fun waving the detector around, seeing what you can dig up. So, bit of a different game plan tomorrow. I'll start off early, head down a new gully that leads into the area where I've seen the goats a lot. Hopefully the cooler sort of more bit of rain we've had the Savo might get some pigs stirring. I'm thinking they're here at different times, but I don't think they're here permanently. Like, it's just too dry at the moment, so they're off elsewhere. There's probably not enough around for them. Might find them moving through. Just hoping there's a bit of a change in weather has stirred them up a little bit, and I might see something tomorrow. I really want to arrow a pig, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, kicking back now with a cold beverage, and I'll make dinner soon, get to bed, and yeah, see what tomorrow brings. Eating like a king. Sometimes quick and easy is good. Worst thing about hunting solo, getting out and opening and closing gates. Well, as predicted, the wind's got a bit of strength to it today, but it's in my face. So we've got a good wind direction, and it might help mask my noise a little bit. Dry, crunchy leaves. This place is so bloody dry. A little bit of rain we had yesterday helped soften things up a bit. But anyway, got the wind in the good direction. Gonna head down this gully, see if I can find those goats. I think I can see one right down in the distance down there, so hopefully I can make things happen pretty quick. Scared a big fox out of the gully. There's that fox eating something dead. He's pretty preoccupied, hasn't seen me yet. 30 metres. Well, that's what he was feasting on. Dead goat. Jesus Christ, stinks to high heaven. I have to mark this on the GPS, I think. Be a spot to come back to. And there's my arrow. Yeah, right, wedged perfectly in the ground there. At least I got it back. Spewing. Just a little bit too high. The first of a few missed filming opportunities. Hunting solo and trying to film it is difficult. Probably just missed that fox because it was a real steep downhill angle. I put it low, just behind his front leg, but still. Well, next time. Another rub tree. I'm starting to think it might be the billy goats rubbing their horns, not deer. But can't be certain. So I've just heard those goats again. I saw them about 15 minutes before I took a shot at that fox. Across the other side, where I am now, I was on the other side over there. And they took off up the valley, just over the ridge behind me there. I'm starting to hear they're bleating again. Maybe they've doubled back down. Anyway, I've come up here to have a bit of a look. There's a heap of them on this joint. Still moving away. They got really good eyes. They see me coming. They just stamp the ground, hopping off. And a goat on the opposite hillside. Of course, it has to be the opposite hillside. And the wind is not overly favourable. It is by itself there, which is an advantage. There's far less eyes, so I'm going to watch this one for a while. See what happens. That stupid goat has not moved a muscle in about 10-15 minutes. I've just sat myself down next to a tree here and just waiting to see what it does, but in the meantime, I can hear goats over to my right over there. I'm hoping they're going to move across this way. The goats I saw before, they're all part of a big mob, but they must have split up, so I'm hoping the ones I've crossed to my right there are the remainder of the mob, and follow the other ones up that sort of went up half an hour ago. Hang on. We'll sit here for a bit and see what happens. Well, that goat's just bedded down now, so I've been sitting here for close to half an hour watching him. I think I might try and make a move. Have to do a fair loop down, around and up. But I could be waiting here for a long time, so I'll just make a move on him, I think. Spewing. Second action shot, not caught on film. I've got to get better at this GoPro stuff. Here's this billy you just saw me shoot. Hopefully I got it on GoPro. First shot wasn't a very good one. Was shaking like a leaf with all the adrenaline after a good stalk. But it definitely slowed him down. He was losing a lot of blood. Followed him down to this little creek here where he sort of held up on a rock wall, and I put one through the vitals. Yeah, that's where he fell into a pool. He's all wet. Not the biggest goat in the world, especially width-wise. Really curly, not a lot of mass. Pretty small, skinny little horns, but width-wise, probably one of the best I've seen on the property so far. There's a black one and a dirty coloured cream one that might go similar to this, and like much thicker, heavier horns. But yeah, my first bow kill. Well,
goat, bow kill. Super stoked, absolutely super stoked. Put in that stalk after watching him for a while. He was obviously just bedded down, having a bit of a siesta, and I snuck up onto him. Got to within 20 metres, and that's when I put the first shot in him. Unfortunately, it wasn't very good, but he didn't go far, and followed up with a quick shot. Stoked.
Although, did I speak too soon? They suspiciously look like pig bellows. Could be wrong. That's just what it looks like to me. Might have to revisit this spot on dark. Just mucking around at camp, getting a few things done before I head out to Savo. Decided to wash all the camo gear. Washed it in this stuff, hand washed. Hopefully that's focusing. Maybe sandbar soap, scent blocker, scent blocking soap. Don't know. I use it every night in the shower. Those sets of camo clothing, a couple of days old now, so decided to give them a wash. Can't hurt. Trying new things anyway. So, well, this is where the old settlement was. Apparently, nothing left here now, except those old fence posts and stuff I was talking about earlier. But I'll go up there and show you those in a little bit. But just a little flat area where once upon a time used to be a settlement, dating back to the 1800s apparently. I just love history, just imagining sort of what was here and what the people went through, what life was like. Yeah, it's pretty amazing imagining it all. Anyway, I'm going to swing the detector around for a little bit. Never know what you could find. Probably just junk, but yeah, I might get the odd old coin or something like that. Anyway, here's hoping. Rusty old bit of nail or wire or something like that. I think I'm going to find a lot of that here. Anyway, you got to dig the junk to find the treasure. Anyway, using the detector here is a bit pointless unless you've got the most patience in the entire world. As basically there's a target every metre, 2 metres. I was digging a target,
putting the detector down, and it was sounding another target when I'd put it down. Alright, just arrived at the bunny spot. But as I did, I must have spooked a fox down there. And he took off at 1,000,000 miles an hour, ran up that embankment, took off over the paddock. But anyway, all these blackberries here, right along this fence line. They come out of the blackberries and just sort of sit on the edge there. Every afternoon, or every time I've been here, I've seen bunnies sitting along this fence line. So I'm just going to sneak up there now. With any luck, you can nail one. Well, there's my arrow. Unscathed. It did not find its target. Well, the stalk was successful. The shot was not. Got into 24 metres. Dialed it at that. But, yeah, no, poor shot. Execution. I just jumped on the trigger, let it go, and it flew straight over his head. Close, but, yeah. No cigar. Oh well. Busted. Damn it. Spewing that fox busted me. He came into about 20, I reckon. I ranged a whole heap of points before I even saw him, actually. And so, yeah, when he came in, he ran in real quick at that last whistle, pulled up and seen me. You know, one of the things when you're trying to film everything yourself as well as hunt, doesn't always go to plan. No, the wind wasn't great either, but it was just cool to whistle one in. I'll probably give it a go, another go before I leave. There's plenty of foxes around here, so yeah. Tracks on this joint are a bit, how you going?
goat. Hopefully get a fox on it. And I'll revisit my kill from yesterday. Maybe there'll be a fox on that too. A couple of bunnies down there. That's the only morning. I don't have a rabbit arrow in the quiver. I did bring heads just in case, but at this point I can't be bothered swapping them out. The breeze seems to be swirling a bit at the moment. It's supposed to have an easterly wind all day, which means it should be coming up the valley. But it's moving around a lot, and a lot of it's drifting or falling down the valley at the moment. Pretty sure I just heard the goats in the distance too, so with the breeze at my back, it's not optimal. Might just have to wait a little while for that sun to come up, the breeze to kick in and start coming up the valley a bit. Bloody kangaroos are everywhere. The wind didn't stop swirling all morning. It gave me away on a few occasions. I thought this would be another good opportunity to get out and swing the metal detector around. See if I could find some gold. First target. Rusty old bit of nail or metal or something. What might be shotgun pellet. Alright, I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of a run through of all my gear, all the hunting gear that I take out with me every day, for anyone who's interested. I'll just run through it really quickly. I'm not going to go into detail about all of it. Just give you a quick rundown of what I take out, what I use. Right, this is the PSE Evo EVL 60 pound. I'm only shooting it in 55 at the moment. Got a bit of a dicky shoulder, so that's why, and it was hard to find. It's a left-handed bow. I'm a lefty. I bought the bow second hand. It was too good of a deal to pass up, and I thought 60 pound max is all right. So far, all the arrows that I've shot at animals has been complete pass-throughs, so no problems there. On the bow, quiverizer, got a CBE single pin dialable sight, a QAD drop away rest. I had the string replaced when I first bought the bow because the other one was a bit frayed around the peep sight. That's a custom string from some bloke in at Canberra. Got it through Johnny Wheeler's at Queanbeyan. Shooting the Spot Hog Wise Guy single caliper release aid. Really nice release aid, that one. Really light on the trigger. I've got a Hunter's Element Bino harness, right, just with a cheap pair of eBay binoculars. I'm not real happy with this. It's a two-handed mission to get the binoculars out. I just want it to be single hand, so I might have to downsize
these or get a better bino harness. These are called Vanguards, waterproof, fog-proof, supposedly. Not too bad optically, but yeah, I don't like how I've got to struggle to get these things in and out. Should be a bit easier than that. In here, I've just got your wind checker. This is a case for a rangefinder, but I don't use it as that. In here, I've got my Garmin eTrex E10. Super basic unit, but I don't need anything complicated. I don't need to load maps. All I need to do is mark waypoints, so I can find my way back if I get lost. What's supposed to go in it is the Tideway rangefinder. This is a cheap Chinese thing. I think this cost me $100 off Amazon. As you can see, super small. I just carry it around in my pocket. Super lightweight. It's actually aluminium or some sort of metal. So far, so good. Does the job. I don't even notice it in my pocket. So that's really handy. For the arrows, I'm running the terra firmas and broadheads. I'll give you a look. So terra firma, 4mm micro shafts, 350 spine. I'm just using these Easy Vein or Easy Fletch for helicoil vanes, I suppose, with the terra firma outsets on them. My number one broadhead so far is the terra firma Gladius, 125 grain. Really happy with the way they fly. Not super sharp out of the packet, good enough, but you can get them better. The Cayuga Trizot, again, they're all 125 grain. Replaceable blade, 3-blade broadhead. Super happy with them so far. Very sharp out of the packet, they're really good. Just a 2-blade Cayuga Zots. They're also pretty sharp out of the packet too. They're pretty good. And the terra firma ventilator, 2-blade, single bevel. I haven't tried them yet. For my backpack, I didn't go and buy anything for the trip. I'll get something better in the future. This is just what I had. It's a Platypus 25 litre. It's reasonably comfortable, reasonably quiet. It doesn't go swishing around and making any funny noises. Got enough storage space, more than enough for what I need. And if I want to take some meat, I can carry a little bit in that. What I carry in my backpack, first aid kit. Alright, this is just a St. John's first aid kit. It's basic, it's got everything you need. Bunch of bandages and gauze pads and tape, and you got a little pair of scissors. I put some, what's this, betadine and antiseptic solution. It's got everything I need. But the only thing I'd put in there would be an eye wash, snake bandage, carry a couple of knives. This is just an old knife I had kicking around at home. Really nice and sharp at the moment. That's good for processing game or skinning and that kind of stuff. A little buck fold out pocket knife. Super lightweight, this thing. Again, really nice and sharp. Carry a couple of spare GoPro batteries, a couple of spare AA's for the GPS. Couldn't think there for a second, bloody hell. A lighter, just in case I need that out in the bush, get stuck out there and need to start a fire. Headlamp. Again, just if worst comes to worst and I have to spend a night in the bush, or I'll come back late, I need to find my way back. Spare point shoot camera. This is my Olympus Tough. That thing's been on many missions with me. Anyone who follows me fishing knows that most of my self-photography photos are taken with this. It's not a bad little camera. A dry bag, just in case I get stuck out or it starts raining. And any of this sensitive equipment needs to be stored in a dry bag. Put it in that, and just a couple of field tips with some bunny busters on them, in case there's some rabbits around. I'll swap out a broadhead. I don't want to waste a broadhead on a rabbit. For my hydration, I'm just trying Atlas Wild out for the first time. I just got a sample pack, right? So you get a bunch of these, plus their recovery and energy sort of supplements. I've already had them, and I'm just trying these from a company called Sodi. These are extra high in sodium, so really good for replenishing the electrolytes. I wanted to try these as I haven't done a lot of this hiking in the hills for quite a long time, probably a little bit out of shape. The old legs aren't used to it. I suffer with leg cramps, so keeping myself hydrated with all the essential electrolytes so far has really helped. And I take a magnesium supplement, and my legs haven't even felt like being close to cramping, which is unusual for me, which is really good. Super happy with them. Really nice flavours. Some of them are like a little bit sweet. There's supposed to be no sugar in them, but yeah, they're pretty good. Right, for the camo gear, I've just been running the Spiker Biari. Pretty lightweight stuff, super comfortable. Doesn't make any noise. Really like them. Got a pair of Ridgeline. I think they're called a Stealth, Ridgeline Stealth. Not sure what the camo pattern is. I reckon it's pretty good for the Australian bush. Huntec shirt as well. Really nice and lightweight. That one's got a little bit of ventilation on the sides there. All of it so far super comfortable, super happy with it. For the boots, I've just got a pair of Crispy Dakotas. Super happy with them so far. They're probably half a size too big, but I got them on special at Johnny Wheeler's in at Queanbeyan there. He gave me a price I couldn't refuse on them. I don't find my feet slide around too much in them or anything like that. Don't make any noise. Really soft soled, really quiet when you walk around the bush. Good grip. Super happy with them so far. And I was throwing a pair of, I think they're Hunter's Element from memory, thick hiking socks. The combo, super comfortable. For the gaiters, I've got the Moroka 3.0 or 30, not sure exactly which one it is, but they're snake gaiters, camo. I did have a pair of black snake-proof gaiters, but I wanted something to sort of blend in, you know, two little black calf muscles walking through the bush might stand out a little bit. The camo sort of, it matches with a lot of the camo clothing I'm wearing. Comfortable, fit well, noiseless, don't make any swishing sort of noises or anything like that. And hunting solo, always want to have that snake protection. And just for the, what do we call them, a neck tube or whatever, and gloves, they're both from AFN Fishing. They're both lightweight, they sort of match the camo, and I think as much skin as I can cover as possible, especially on the stalk, the better. I don't even notice I'm wearing that stuff. It's really good. I forgot to mention during the gear breakdown, also carry this in my pack. It's the Garmin InReach Mini emergency distress beacon, and it's a backup GPS as well. Always you can mark a waypoint on there, and if for whatever reason the eTrex fails, I've got a waypoint on this to navigate back home to. But most importantly, got the SOS, the emergency distress, in case I break a bone or get bitten by a brown snake or something like that, and I need some help. So hunting solo, that's a must. And for the hat, Hunter's Element, matches nicely with all that.
I think I'll pass on these ones. One kid's got a really nice colour. Just going for my afternoon walk. Gonna hunt the back corner of his property that I haven't hunted yet. It's got a big area of native pine, black pine I think the farmer said it was. And this creek's actually flowing. Not much, and the water's clear. And anyway, it's close to where I've hunted the previous afternoons, but I just haven't done this one little bit. Already just seen that nanny and kid. I did see a couple of goats in the pines from across the ridge the other evening, so hopefully I can run into them. Dense in here. I just heard a noise down by the creek. Very difficult to move quietly through here. It is so crispy, crunchy, dry. Real life June the movie. This thing's a bit how you going. Wow, crazy. It's that time of afternoon again. I'm back at the rabbit spot. Managed to get into about 20. Well, that's what the rangefinder was telling me. It was a bit hard to range it actually because there's so much grass and shit in the way. The readings were jumping around all over the place. It was a pretty good stalk. I was out in the open. It could see me the whole time from about 50, 60 metres, and I just ever so slowly crept down towards it and got close enough. Dialed the sight to what I thought the rangefinder was telling me and let her rip. And as you see, well, hopefully the GoPro video footage shows it, but yeah. Arrow just went a little bit short, and I think slightly to the left. Gave him a good scare though, and I found my arrow this time, which is good. This ground is bloody dry and hard as concrete, so they bounce off and go flying everywhere, but yeah, I found this one. Well, a couple of days left, see if I can get it done by the time I leave. Alright, time for one last fox whistle before dark. The wind is not favourable at all. Sort of coming over my left shoulder here, but hey, the foxes are hungry, so you just never know. No luck tonight. Maybe he wised up to me. There has been one hanging around this area, but couldn't call him in tonight. I only had the kookaburras laughing at me. Yum. Here's tonight's extreme gas inducing treat. Kev Hanger, if you're watching this, at least it's not stag chili. You'll remember that. Beautiful morning. A little bit of a breeze, but it's in my favour. Just gonna walk a different section of the property I haven't walked yet. Do a big loop around into an area that I have walked. So trying some new ground and back into some old ground. Hopefully I can run into some. That looks like good blood. Right, just about where I impacted him, I think. I can hear him down here. I think he crashed. Just gonna see if I can find a bit more blood. I think the shot was good. It's quartering away. Oh, there he is. Yes. Oh, what a stalk. Wow, that had its moments. Oh, fuck, I'm shaking like a leaf. Got the adrenaline going. Second goat down. It was Billy, the big Billy of the mob. Well, he's not big horned wise. But, yeah, I could smell him. I knew I was directly downwind of him so at some point there. There he is. There's that Billy you just saw me shoot. Hit him probably a little bit high, but I'd say by the amount and look of this red frothy blood, it just clipped the top of his lungs. He didn't go far, probably 50 metres down the hill, and it just piled up here. Bit better than the first goat I shot, so no follow-up shot required. He's a big animal, big heavy animal. I had to drag him up from a little bit further down. It's heavy, not much in the way of horns, but super stoked. That was a mad stalk. Right, so just finished filming that goat, taking a couple of photos. Threw my gear back on, I could hear so other mob just down the ridge here. Maybe they're in the gully. Not sure. Anyway, I've still got the wind in a really favourable direction. I'm gonna head down there and see if I can make it happen again. Damn it! Just got busted. Being complacent and just trudging up this hill without slowly stalking. There's a mob feeding up under that big tree there. They don't look too spooked though, so I'll give them a second or two. Lost them. It's amazing how fast and silently they can slip away. Now, alright, I'm just walking a new stretch of creek that I haven't walked yet. Had to get over about bloody 5 fences and 500 metres to get here, but I was talking to the farmer today and he's really surprised I haven't seen a pig. Well, apart from this corner, I've covered nearly every square inch of this block, so yeah, I just don't know if they're here or where they could be hiding. You'd think if they're in these blackberry bushes you'd see tunnels and stuff, but although I have seen my first possible sign, some holes in the blackberries, but anyway, you got to walk around to find these things out. Yeah, well, with the amount of cattle along this river section, there's no point hunting it. I wanted to get down there or get across the other side, but these are the hungry cattle that follow you around. So, yeah, that's a no-go. So, not even a bunny for this afternoon's efforts. I did see a couple, but they saw me. They saw me coming, so wasn't able to get a shot. I've been thinking though, I probably should have thought this on day 2 or 3, but I might come back down to the creek later tonight. Not to shoot, but just to sit here and listen. Maybe if there are pigs here, they're completely nocturnal. I've never experienced that anywhere else before, but got to try. I've got 1 day left. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow, so I'm just at my wit's end trying to think about how I can score myself a pig if they're here. Maybe they are completely nocturnal, I'm not sure. If I come down here for half an hour to an hour and just sit here and just listen, maybe I hear something. I am in 2 minds about going for a fish out at Wyangula. I did want to do some fishing while I was here, but hunting's the main priority. And after my success with the fox and a couple of goats, I'm pretty keen to get something else on the ground before I leave. I can go fishing any time. I do that all the time anyway, but it would be nice to get out there, and I haven't been to Wyangla in years. See if I can get a cod or a yellow belly or something, but I'm more keen on hunting. Right, I've just come down to the creek for a bit of a look and listen. Not that I can see much. Just going to listen. And see if we can hear any noises of pigs, grunts, squeals, etc. I'll probably be here for half an hour to an hour in dead silence. I'll just see what I can hear. Well, not a peep. A little bit of distant music and some gunshots. I see a spotlight flashing around, probably roost shooters, but not a single noise from an animal. Righto, last morning hunt. Not a bad way to start the morning. That sunrise was pretty bloody good. I'm just going to hunt some lower country today. I've given the high country a fair bash. Of course, if I see something I need to follow it up high, I will, but otherwise I'm just going to stick to the low country, see what's poking about. With any luck, get something for the last day. That was not here last night. To me, that looks suspiciously like pig shit. Even after I came down here for a good hour and sat down and didn't hear a peep. A bit of nosing around. And by the look of that one, looks like that came out of a fair lump of a hog. There's actually a little bit of shit and nosing around here. Looks like one big pig and a couple of small ones. Don't tell me the last day could actually see one. Had me going for a sec. Saw a little dark shape moving. Bloody wombat. Well, I'm just going to park myself up under this tree, sit here and wait for a bit. I haven't done a great deal of that this trip. This is a bit of a hot spot here. It's been productive over the trip. The goats like this area. And I figure if the pigs are going to be out and feeding, highly unlikely, this is as good a spot as any. I've just whistled in 2 foxes. There's another one to the right behind the tree. I just don't want to move. Couldn't get the camera out in time when they're both sitting there together. The wind is not favourable though, but they're curious about the rabbit call. He's just sitting there, trying to figure out where that noise came from. Well, that was interesting. I've been sitting here for about 45 minutes, so I thought I'd just decide to have a fox whistle before I moved on. Managed to call in 2 foxes from up the hill there behind me. The wind's not great because the wind's going that way. The closest I managed to get both of them was probably about 40 metres, but they knew something was up. They were sus on me and then took off. Then I heard a noise behind me. And from this hill here, another fox came over. And of course, as I turned, I crunched on a stick. He stopped dead in his tracks at about 20 metres, but I had that little bush there behind me, right in the way, obscuring the shot. I ranged it afterwards. It was 21.5 metres, and I had the sight dialed at 20, so I probably would have smacked him, but yeah, he saw a tiny bit of movement and took off. So, 3 foxes in the space of 10 minutes, and that was something I've never experienced. That was pretty cool, but yeah, couldn't get it done. The wind wasn't right, made too much noise. Oh well. Well, here comes the rain as predicted. Let's put a bit of a dampener on the end of the trip. I'm sure the farmer loves it though. Alright, one last roll of the dice. Last afternoon's hunt. Gonna just hunt a couple of these bottom gullies. We've just had a bit of rain this arvo. Probably rained steady for an hour and a half or so, I suppose. Wasn't heavy, but enough to wet the ground, make it a bit quieter. It's really cool and still at the moment. With any luck, I mean, something's out and about. Anyway, fingers crossed for the last arvo. Looks like we're in for another nice decent shower. It's pretty uniform grey up there. I'll just hunker down under this tree. There's a little dry spot here. And I'll watch this gully below me. There's a couple of little water holes along it. A few blackberries and stuff like that. So, man, you just never... Jesus Christ, look at that tree. I swear, everything around here must be 100% nocturnal, apart from the goats. That looks rather like a deer to me, and I haven't seen a peep of one. So I have covered nearly every square inch of this place, all on foot, all quietly. Yeah, right. Oh, there's one of the old test holes from the old gold miners. Definitely the biggest I've seen on the place so far. Old mate farmer always said, there's always a tree growing out of them. Well, that's a wrap. Bit of a rainy last afternoon, but I'm glad the farmer's getting some rain. He desperately needs it out here. Couldn't find anything poking around those lower gullies. Maybe all the animals didn't like the rain as much as me. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it was a really good trip. Super happy with my results. I would have been happy with one animal on the ground for my first bow hunt. Ended up with the fox and 2 goats. God, they're everywhere. Moths the size of small bats. I wonder if they're bogongs. It's an invasion. Turn the outside light off and here we are. One just snuck through the fly screen. Oh God. Total infestation. They've just come from everywhere. It sounds like hail inside with them smashing into the windows. Time to go back to normality. Yay. Hunting for me is far more than just killing an animal. It's about escaping the daily grind and immersing yourself in nature. For me, there's nothing more therapeutic than being in the bush, taking in the sights, sounds, and smells. To acquire the skills to be a proficient bow hunter takes time, practice and discipline. The skills needed to get close to a wild animal and dispatch it humanely is something that appeals to me, as this would be my first hunt in many years. Self-filming would add an extra layer of challenge. Well, this afternoon's fox whistling had a pretty good first day, really. What I found is most of the time it's very difficult. Conditions were tough in the area I was hunting. Long periods with no rain meant the country was very dry. I missed a lot of opportunities, but every one I missed, I learnt from. In my mind, bow hunting is the most challenging form of hunting, requiring skill, patience, observation, and being proficient with your equipment. If I had my time again, I wouldn't change anything on this hunt. I learnt a lot. There was a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of new skills learned. This really was a steep learning curve.